Hi, I'm anti-woke and autistic. I want to talk about two super morbidly obese influencers. There was an article about them in the Daily Star. The first one is Dani Adriana. Judging by her looks, she's got to be pretty close to 350, possibly 400. Here is what she says. Now, the first paragraph, she says society expects her to be depressed because she's not stick thin. Now, where did she get that idea from? Where is this imaginary world they live in where there's all this pressure by society to be stick thin, stick thin? My idea of stick thin is somebody who's like 5'5" and 90 pounds. But these days, with all the momentum behind all this fat acceptance nonsense, a woman who's 5'5" and 135 or 5'7" and 140 would be considered stick thin because, unfortunately, morbid obesity is becoming increasingly normalized or, I don't know, celebrated and promoted. So I don't know what she means by stick thin. I guess she means maybe a size 8 or a size 10. But she's delusional. She has no proof whatsoever that she's been under any pressure to be stick thin. Now, the next thing she says is that she doesn't want to compromise her mental health by going on a weight loss journey because, as she says, all diets fail. Diets fail. Well, diets don't fail. The dieter is the one who fails. These fat acceptance, fat activists have this delusion that, or they don't understand something really simple, that if you lose 100 pounds by changing your eating habits, you're going to gain it back if you revert back to eating 6,000 calories a day of junk food. I mean, you have to stick to the change in diet in order to keep the weight off. And they seem to think, well, once the weight's off, I can go back to eating whatever I want. 12-inch pizzas and lots of Big Macs and ice cream and 2 liters of soda a day, and then it shocks them that the weight comes back on. No, the diet doesn't fail. You fail. Now, they like to say that 90% of dieters regain the weight. Well, you know something? If that's true, and I don't believe it is 90%, but if that's true, why don't they figure out what that 10% is doing and emulate them, copy them, mimic them, do what they're doing, find out what the successful people are doing, instead of just tossing in the towel and giving up? That doesn't make any sense. Why can't you do what the 10%'s doing? Are you afraid of hard work? Are you afraid of becoming more self-controlled and disciplined? What's that 10% doing? Are they special? Are they godly that they possess something that you can't acquire? Instead, you just give it up? That's like saying because 80% of all businesses go belly up in the first 2 to 5 years, that you should not start a business. Well, if you start a business, if you want to start a business, you should. But instead of doing what that 80% does, that makes them fail within 2 years, find out what that 20% is doing and copy them. It's ridiculous. Unless a diet is like the cabbage soup diet or a vegetable juice diet, those diets are non-sustainable. But a portion control diet where you're controlling portions and you're eating mostly natural foods, but you allow your favorite foods. You still allow your favorite foods so you don't get deprived. That's very sustainable. And if you can't stick to that, it's not the diet's fault. It's your fault. Now, that's Dani, Adriana. Let's take a look at Rosie Jean. Here she is, people. She's huge. She has this to say. She slams haters and says they're jealous of her and insecure. First of all, why do these FA people always use that word haters? I'm not hating on anybody, I'm just stating facts. If somebody says obesity, you can't be obese and healthy, especially morbidly obese, they're just stating facts. Now, yeah, every now and then there is a nasty comment like, you're a land whale, or go back to the ocean with all the other whales, things like that. But most comments are about the medical aspects of morbid obesity, and that it shouldn't be promoted and celebrated. But they call them haters. They call everybody who doesn't agree with them as haters. It's because they think in a very simplistic way. They have a limited vocabulary, and that's all they can come up with is that word haters. But what's really delusional on Rosie Jean's part is that she accuses people of being jealous and insecure. There is not one person on this planet who wants a body like Rosie Jean. Take a look at it again. Do you know anybody who wants a body like that? The only people who want a body like that are people who weigh 600 pounds or 700 pounds. Well, they'd love to weigh 400 pounds or maybe 420, whatever she is. But other than that, nobody, what are they jealous of? Are they jealous of all that fat under her neck? I'm sure she has sleep apnea. Are they jealous of the rolls of it? Where did she get off saying people are jealous and insecure? Oh, there's many people out there who are insecure for one reason or another, but that doesn't mean they don't know the facts when it comes to medicine and obesity. So I don't even know what insecurity has to do with any of this. But I just can't believe she thinks people could be jealous of her. That's her psychological coping mechanism. She's somehow convinced herself that the reason people hate her, haters, is because they're jealous. Rosie Jean, nobody's jealous of you. Nobody wants your body unless they're 600 pounds. So get over yourself. She also says she's comfortable in her own skin. Well, I'm not buying that. She can't possibly be comfortable, especially on a hot day. Can you imagine the sweat underneath those folds? She can't possibly be comfortable walking up a flight of stairs because she'd be panting at the top. Her knees probably feel like they're going to give out on her. She might be psychologically comfortable, but I don't even buy that, because how can you be psychologically comfortable being so overweight when it causes all sorts of physical problems like mobility impairment? She's probably pre-diabetic, probably has high blood pressure. Certainly she gets winded very, very easily, has difficulty getting in and out of cars, in and out of chairs, seats. She must always worry about if she's going to fit in a chair in public. Of course, she blames the chair manufacturers and the restaurants and diners and airplanes for that, instead of realizing the problem is herself, gluttoning herself into a state of ill health. That's self-harm. And she's part of a death cult, the fat acceptance community. They are completely delusional. They accuse people of feeling threatened by them when they claim to be happy and self-confident. The only threat I would feel from Dani, Adriana, or Rosie Jean is if I was walking up a staircase and they were ahead of me and they started falling backwards, then I'd really feel threatened. So that's it for today, and have a good day.